Hey guys, Kyle Kulinski is letting us post some of the clips from his channel that we think you guys will really love in the Breaking Points community on our channel.
Yep, let's get to it.
All right, so we got this article in the New York Post. Goldman Sachs backed firms buy entire Florida community for $45 million. So this is where we're at. You know, Wall Street firms are just like, I should buy that town, and then they do. So they say, there's no end in sight for Wall Street's Sunbelt sojourn. A pair of Goldman Sachs-backed ventures gobbled up an entire rental home community in Florida last month for a cool $45 million. Fundrise, Interval Fund, and Growth REIT 7 picked up 87 single-family properties in Brevard County as part of an ongoing southern spending spree. Fundrise previously snatched up a 120-unit development in Pensacola and has been pouring money into other rental developments in states like South Carolina and Mississippi. With rents continuing to soar and demographic shifts ongoing, real estate experts said Wall Street's southern appetite will only intensify. Ken Johnson, professor of real estate at Florida Atlantic University, said firms are following population trends and investing in previously disregarded regions of the country. You are seeing more and more of this, Johnson told the Post. The attraction of Florida is the same as places like Texas and Tennessee and North Carolina. These are places people are moving to and where we can expect to see future increases in population. Florida, he said, has undergone fundamental shift in recent years, morphing from a second home and a hospitality-centered economy to a year-round place of business. There's a reorganization of Florida's economy taking place, he said. Some critics have correlated Wall Street's embrace of single-family and rental homes with unprecedented price increases over the past several years. Anecdotes abound about aspiring home buyers having their bids avalanched by corporate competitors with deep pockets. That's exactly what's happening around the country. Florida has seen rents spike by more than 30% overall, while other Sunbelt states have seen similar hikes. But Johnson argued that corporate purchases remain a drop in the bucket of overall home transactions throughout the country. He asserted that even large-scale corporate purchases in concentrated areas do not confer enough market power to dictate rental prices. I don't buy that for a second. Other analysts contend that increasing mortgage rates will now spur even higher rents, with would-be home buyers opting for the sidelines. Yeah, see, this has been a problem recently. Anecdotes abound about aspiring home buyers having their bids avalanched by corporate competitors with deep pockets. We've talked about this in regards to BlackRock too. BlackRock is going around the country and buying up, entire blocks or entire towns. And so what happens is these corporations swoop in. They buy a house or houses or an entire development. And then oftentimes what they do is they'll jack up the rent and rent it back to people. And I mean, it's ugly. It's what started after the 2008 subprime mortgage crisis and Great Recession. So in 2008, or leading up to 2008 in the crash, what happened was you had basically a totally unregulated market where instead of having a mortgage that was reliable and steady, 30-year fixed rate or whatever they call it, what they would do is have these ballooning rate mortgages. So somebody who doesn't make enough money to buy a big house would go and buy a big house, and it would be like no money down. At first you pay 3%, but then eventually the interest rate would balloon. And so as soon as the payments would get up to 8%, 12%, 16%, they would default on it. And they wouldn't be able, the house would be foreclosed on. And so we basically had a total house of cards. We had, at the same time that was going on, you had these bundles of these mortgages that would be sold off from company to company. And they were basically playing hot potato with toxic assets, just waiting for the bubble to burst. And that's ultimately what happened. And so we had the subprime mortgage crisis, the Great Recession. We had so many people, millions of people get foreclosed on and lose their homes. And what needed to happen was to reintroduce regulation, make it so that ballooning rate mortgages are illegal. You needed to bring back Glass-Steagall so that you have a separation between commercial banking and investment banking. So in other words, when you go to your local bank and put your money in there, they're not doing casino capitalist bets with that, which are going to go belly up eventually. And in the wake of that, so the new trick that happened in the wake of that is Wall Street said, all right, well, the problem was we were selling these houses to people who shouldn't really be buying the houses, and we were really scamming them because we would just turn a profit and sell the bad mortgage to somebody else really quickly and run out the back door with all the money. Instead of doing that, why don't we just buy the houses directly, push out people who maybe genuinely need a house and can buy a house, but will pay above the market rate and will get the house at Goldman Sachs or BlackRock or whatever. And then, so we deny them housing, and then we can rent the same house back to them and jack up the rent. The economy's a total house of cards, man. The total house of cards. And this is why, FTR famously railed against the money changers. Like, what is going on with these giant financial corporations other than they're just money changers? What value are they providing to the economy? They're not providing value. They're pushing numbers around on a screen. And they're, denying people a chance at a home and pushing them out of the market and then jacking up their rents. So, I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. I don't know why this is allowed. It shouldn't be allowed. It should be regulated out of existence. But of course, there's no accountability for Wall Street. There never has been. There never has been. How many Wall Street bankers who committed fraud as part of their business model went to prison after 2008? I'll leave that one up to you guys to put in the comment section. So they're back on their bullshit, man. They're back on their bullshit. And this is a symptom of late-stage capitalism in a decaying society. And it ain't pretty.
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.